So I've finally released the demo of my hand-drawn game Drawn Before on Steam, and it has been quite satisfying to finally get it out there. Although the interest in that demo hasn't really been earth-shattering or anything, it's just good to see the Steam page and know I can point people in that direction if they want to give the game a try. It's been over a year since my last devlog on this channel, so it's probably fair to catch everyone up on where I am with the development and what I've been up to. In my last proper video back in December of 2024, I was talking about how 2025 would probably be the year I released the game. Famous last words, of course. I was still relatively busy working on it at that time, but then the dreaded burnout struck quite hard in January of 2025. Every time I sat down to work on the game, I could only really see the flaws in everything I'd done so far, and my motivation just seemed to ebb away over that month. For the next 10 months, I'd sporadically open the project, look it over and quickly realise how much work it would take to produce into a full game, so I'd close it down and resign myself to the fact that it would probably never be completed. I started Drawn Before because it felt like a simple idea, something I could actually achieve, a basic platform game with a narrative told through notes and scraps of paper as you progress. The big problem was actually drawing all the artwork with this idea though. Every asset, background, enemy animation, background animation all needed to be hand drawn, and being a solo developer with almost no experience, I severely underestimated how much time this would take. Barely working on the game for those 10 months, the game maker icon on my desktop would almost seem to be taunting me at times as my mouse cursor crept over to give it the big double click, only to retreat from fear. But then, late in 2025, that elusive inspiration suddenly hit. I was doodling on my iPad one evening and decided to draw a random enemy for the game. I'm not sure where this inspiration came from, but the process of drawing and animating that enemy was surprisingly quick, and that was really the only spark I needed. I opened up the project in November of 2025 and looked over what I'd done so far. The flaws were all still there, of course, but then so were the good things. Work still needed to be done on the first tutorial level and the boss level for sure, and level 2 was a complete disaster which needed to be scrapped. But the enormity of the task for whatever reason suddenly seemed achievable once again. I still knew how much work it would be, and although the full game was daunting beyond belief, I did feel like the demo wasn't as far away as I'd previously feared. For the next 4 months I worked on the game every chance I got. The levels seemed to design themselves, the artwork came quickly and easily, and any coding hole I found myself in, I was able to eventually work my way out of. I played the 4 levels in the demo to death, trying to work out every bug, while knowing at the back of my mind that there would still be huge issues regardless. I then handed the early demo out to a handful of playtesters. Thanks go to my wife, son, daughter and Lee and Rog for providing plenty of feedback with that first version. But then, before I knew it, the demo seemed about as ready as it was going to get in a reasonable time frame, so up it went on Steam, and there it currently sits. Marketing is definitely not one of my strengths though. I've only sent a handful of emails out to outlets and content creators, and nobody's featured it, which is not really any surprise whatsoever to be honest. But just getting the demo on Steam and getting a few more wish lists in the process has been a big motivation for me. I'm still hard at work on the game, drawing assets and recording music, and things are currently going well. I suppose my main fear now is wondering if or when the burnout will strike again, especially since this latest bout of inspiration seemed to arrive from nowhere and out of the blue. Nevertheless, there's not much I can do about that either way, except keep chipping away at the game in the hope that the further I get through completing it, the more burnout can be kept at bay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.